start this?
I have no idea. I was like, do I look at you? Do I look at the camera? What do I do?
Yeah. So we just got back from seeing Moana. Yeah, you can look at me. You can look at camera. It's fine. This is my co-host today, Rachel. I'm Alex, and this is On Task Reviews. So yeah, we saw Moana!
Yay!
We just got back from the theater. We haven't discussed it yet. So what did you think of the movie?
I really liked it. It made me cry.
It made me cry too. I don't know if I really liked it. I liked it, but it was like, it has flaws.
Right.
It has flaws. But it's still like good. Better than Brave. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I really liked the music.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it kind of, that probably did it for me more than anything else. The story was nice. It was good. It sort of hit all the right notes, and she like had a journey, and Maui had a journey, and they both came to a good conclusion.
Yeah. So we should probably give a brief summary of the film. It was good. Princess of an island. Starts off very Pocahontas-ish.
Oh yeah, actually.
I was like, I see a lot of like parallels here. Mm-hmm. Like Pocahontas is the chief's daughter with the sense of adventure but loyalty to her tribe, and this is like the better Pocahontas movie. It's way better than Pocahontas.
Right. Everyone on the island is only ever been on the island, has never left because the chief doesn't let anyone leave, and his daughter constantly wants to leave the island.
Very heavy on kind of like mythology and trickster myths and oral tradition. Anyways, there's an island of these little people, and like they don't ever go past the barrier reef of the lagoon, so they never go on the open sea. And the chief's daughter is like, why don't we go on the open sea? I want to go out into the water and, explore. Yeah. And so they. Her grandmother's always telling her these stories about how there was a demigod named Maui who, stole the heart of this goddess who was kind of a Gaia figure, the earth goddess who creates, like, all life. And he stole the heart from her, and therefore, the world is decaying and dying. And someone needs to go out and restore the heart. And so Moana grows up. And her grandmother's kind of like, you should go do that. The ocean has chosen you for this task, and you need to go do that. So she goes and she tracks down Maui, the demigod, and she finds him, and she convinces him to go on her little quest with her. It's again, going back to oral traditions, a lot like the Odyssey. And then they kind of overcome some various obstacles, and they go about trying to return the heart to the goddess.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's lots of trials and tribulations in between.
And, alright, I'm going to say for the record, past this point, like, it's going to be a spoiler review. Like, we both give our opinion that we like it. I mean, I'd say go see it.
I would too.
Maybe, like, afternoon showing. I mean, at this point, it's probably later on anyways. But don't pay, like, crazy amounts of money. But absolutely check it out.
It's not something that you're going to go see in 3D IMAX.
Yeah. But if you like Disney and you like the princess idea, it's another solid entry into that canon. So past this point, spoiler review. There you go. Alright, so that's kind of they get the heart to the goddess, and they defeat her, and she's a monster because she lost her heart. And
there's this monster god, demon god, that Maui had fought previously right after he stole the heart, and that's why he kind of had this fall from grace. Nobody ever heard from him again. Yeah. And everyone was terrified of this demon god who turns out in the end to be Tafiti.
Yeah. Tafiti, that was the name. Yeah. Cool. So, what were your thoughts on the film?
I really liked the artwork. It
was beautiful.
Oh,
so pretty.
The water animation was amazing.
Her hair, everything.
Yes,
animated
all of their hair.
So well. Oh my gosh.
You like wanted to touch it.
Yeah, like Brave style, like good hair animation. They've locked that shit down by now.
I really liked the story with the grandmother. Yes. And how that played out all the way through to the end. Because she was sort of Grandmother Willow.
Yeah.
In Pocahontas.
Yeah.
She was very...
the grandmother spirit.
Right. Kind of different, a little bit, kooky. but still a figure of guidance.
Yeah.
She wasn't totally off her rocker like people sort of thought she was.
Yeah. She's not totally a crazy lady. Mm-hmm. She's, in touch with the spirits.
Right, and always believed in Moana, despite what anyone else said.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I liked that there wasn't, like, a crowbarred romance.
Yes.
Thank you, Disney, for ditching the romance angle.
Oh!
Woohoo! I liked Moana in general. The actress, whose name I do not remember.
But she actually is an islander from what I know.
Yeah.
So.
And it's not, obviously not a specific island culture. It's very much, in general, Pacific Islanders. And it's based off a lot of that. But
right.
Yeah, there were things I loved about it. Like, the things I really loved about it were, this is the first straight-up trickster story, I feel like, that we've gotten from Disney.
Yeah.
Like, this is very much steeped in the oral tradition storytellers, where you have the trickster, and then you also have, like, a hero character, and it's very, very steeped in what people associate with, like, creation myths. And I thought, like, he has these tattoos of, like, all the stuff that, like, all of his feats, and they're all creation myths.
Oh, like, you're right.
They're all creation myths that actually you hear from, like, any culture that's got, strong creation myth or an oral culture where they pass that stuff down.
Like where the fire came from.
Like Native American or African or even Greek, where these stories come from. And like raising the mountains from the sea, and he lassos the moon to the sun to come keep the people company, and so I was like, wow, these are all, like, he's a trickster character, and he's also doubling as a hero character in, like, the classic Greek sense of the word, as someone who is flawed but strong, like someone who overcomes great feats even if they aren't maybe the perfect person. And then he's also, the tricks. He's even got the shapeshifter aspect, which is essential to any trickster story. Somebody who lies, who's deceitful. Anyone who changes the status quo is kind of the trickster story, and that's very much what he does. He steals the heart from the goddess, and he winds up helping humanity, but he also winds up hurting them. And I thought, man, that is pretty much spot on for every, like, trickster story you've ever read. Like, they do it for whatever their reasons for doing it. It either helps mankind or it hurts them. So.
And he had his own reasons for doing those things.
He wants accolades and attention. And the deeper need under that is he wants love.
Exactly.
So I thought that was really interesting and well done. And then going back to, like, Earth Goddess, which again you see in a ton of creation stories. Gaia from the Greek. I'm pretty sure the Hawaiians have a, like, the volcano goddesses. Kind of create the islands themselves. And this goddess does double duty, because she's the volcano goddess, but she's also the earth goddess who creates all life.
Exactly.
So I thought that was really great.
And that they're two sides of the same coin. Was really interesting.
Yes, exactly. Like almost like a Hindu style with Kali and her other incarnation, where it's like one is very good and one is very bad.
And this was very much like decay and death and fire versus life and creation and green.
She's green as the good goddess, and she's red and black as the bad goddess, and it's very, very clearly delineated. But I thought it was really good. You don't really know what the ocean god is up to.
Or the ocean god, or the ocean entity, or whatever.
It is the ocean.
Seems to sort of be an extension of Te Fiti, from what it seems like.
I felt like it was like almost another entity, because it was funny, but the Maui, the Rock, who's voiced by the Rock.
Right.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne the Rock
Johnson.
Who actually does a surprisingly good job.
And they're smart enough to only give him one musical number. Thank you. And it's in his range, so he doesn't make a complete fool out of himself.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I mean, obviously he's not a singer, but it wasn't bad. I actually quite liked it. That was one of the songs I liked the most. And then all of Moana's songs, pretty much. She had great stuff. But the ocean kind of like, he even brings up, like, why doesn't the ocean bring me my fish hook? Why doesn't the ocean bring the stone to Tahiti or to Fiji?
Right.
Yeah, he brings up like plot holes, and then he's like, yeah, the ocean doesn't because the ocean is crazy. I mean, I'm sure if you picked this story apart, there are probably a lot of plot holes.
Probably.
But this story is not. This is not like a logical precision story. Very few Disney tales are.
Yeah.
This is definitely that emotional narrative we were kind of like talking about.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to bring you on like an emotionally fulfilling like cycle or journey.
Right.
And the details and the logic of it not so much important. Yeah. Yeah, this is like there are places where you're like, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It's a fairy tale.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like there's plenty of fairy tales and myths that have plot holes galore.
Yeah, like,
gaping ones.
Gosh, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, all of those.
Yeah.
Like you could really, if you wanted to pick them apart, you could.
It's not the point.
Yeah. The point is to have a fairy tale, and this is a fairy tale from a culture that's not European.
And I think a lot of it is, along with the emotional journey, it's that character development.
Yes.
And that I think they did really well.
Yeah.
Where like Moana starts out sort of with this crazy sense of adventure and wanting to do things and feeling that she is the chosen one.
Yeah.
And having no idea why, having no idea how to do it, having no idea what she needs to do, and having just this one mission that she clings to and repeats to herself over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And through her experiences, I feel like she kind of comes to a sense of self.
Yeah.
And that's something that they built really well.
Yeah, and Maui kind of has that sort of an arc too,
right?
Where he comes to like value Moana, but he also comes to realize like he's very attached to this fish hook, and he kind of comes to realize, oh, I don't need the fish hook thing,
to be great.
I'm great anyways. I'm cool, and
right.
People love me and such.
Yeah. They even like poked at it where there's that little moment where the little mini Maui tattoo, and here like, I love you too. Right?
Yeah. His tattoos move all over the place. Yeah. He's super cute. Yeah.
I kind of two total side notes. One, I really liked the chicken story.
Really?
I was
like,
kind
this
of stupid.
Fucking chicken. It's an animal sidekick story, and honestly, sidekicks that are cute tend to be things that I'm not fond of. I'm just like, I'm not a fan of cute sidekicks. Like, it has to be a really fucking cute sidekick. Like, I didn't like BB-8. I know I'm like, people coming after me, but I didn't like BB-8.
She's an awful person.
Yeah, right. Because it was like, this fucking droid, what's the point of you to be here other than to sell me merchandise of the droid? Yeah. It's like not contributing to the story. It's not that funny, and it's not that cute. What
I liked about the chicken was that it wasn't the little pig. That's who I expected to go with her.
I thought the pig was gonna be it.
The pig originally went with her, and then they were like, "Psych, no, actually,
nope, it's the chicken."
Right?
Yeah.
And Moana was surprised and like, why?
and he was useful to the story in a few places. Yeah.
It was just kind of funny and unexpected, I guess.
Yeah,
is all.
The chicken is
it's not Flounder, it's not Sebastian. They're not trying to serve as an extra guiding figure or conscience.
Yeah,
like it almost self-aware in its own like.
Flounder and Sebastian don't so much bother me because they're actual like characters. But like Miko and Flick from Pocahontas are more annoying,
right.
They're just there. It's like, why do you need 3 animal sidekicks? You don't,
and then there's the cricket and Mulan and things like that.
Yeah, like the cricket and Mulan is kind of pointless too, other than for like some cute like side jokes. I mean, but she's already got Mushu's there as an actual character.
Right,
that provides a lot of comedy.
But I think, the chicken was different in that.
And she had the horse. She had Khan.
Yeah, you're right. The Khan was like, also kind of.
Yeah, so you've got 2 animal sidekicks and a real character sidekick that happens to be an animal in Mushu. And I'm just kind of like, what is the point of the cricket other than, oh, cute little cricket?
Right. But I feel like that's why the chicken was. That's why I liked the chicken.
Okay.
Because. He wasn't necessarily there to be cute. He was kind of dumb, kind of stupid.
Yeah, he was really fucking stupid.
Right, and wasn't particularly cute. It was just kind of there, and eventually was able to serve some sort of a purpose. Was able to help in some way.
Yeah.
But was literally just there for the ride.
Yeah, just goes there and back. I'd call the ocean a sidekick character too.
Yeah, definitely.
The ocean was hanging around a lot.
Right, sort of the non-verbal kind of a character.
Yeah. They did a good job of getting its emotions across.
Right.
Even if you didn't understand its reasoning.
Yeah. I mean, it seems interesting that the ocean was almost in and of itself an agent of, like, almost like a trickster in and of itself. So there was... It
doesn't deceive, but it's not always helpful.
It's not always helpful. It's not always clear. You don't always know its intentions.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of plays a similar role. And it's a force of nature. And so it's not something that you're going to control. It's not something that's going to give you answers. It can help you because... But it can also be a problem.
Right.
Yeah. And, like, when it sent a storm to guide her to the right place, to guide Moana to the right place, it was like, what if she died?
Yeah, it almost feels more like an agent of fate in that regard.
Right, exactly. And so the second side note, I guess, was I liked that Moana wasn't drawn to be a complete stick with boobs and ass.
They make her look like
an islander.
She's got to be like 14, 15. Like, the character's supposed to be young. But yeah, she looks like a Pacific Islander, you know.
Her arms are a little thicker, her legs are a little thicker.
Yeah, she's got the thicker calves.
Right. Yeah. She still has a slender waist and humongous eyes.
Yeah, the giant eyes with animation. Yeah,
but it's still much more like she looked like a 14 or 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And she looked like she had been running around on an island doing work and things like that.
And she's been groomed to be, chief and everything. And
right.
Yeah. That's clearly like a big thing.
So it was nice to have a Disney princess who's not really sexualized.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And I really like the stuff with the ghosts. Ghosts, but like the spirits or the memories or whatever they are. I thought that was really well done. And some of the music is great, but some of it's not so great. The fucking Shiny song. Oh, God. Right, there is a sparkly crab that they have to overcome, like their Cyclops and Odysseus, in order to get the fish hook back. And the sparkly crab is pointless, other than as an obstacle, like I said, like Odysseus style. And it has a really just not good song. It's just like, it's there. You sit through it.
It's alright.
I mean, it's not... Alright, it is a little terrible. They'd be like, it's not terrible. I was like, no, compared to everything else, it pretty much sucks. Yeah. Sucks compared to everything else.
Yeah, but the crab...
It's not the singer's fault, although I'm not sure I love the voice actor either.
I mean, it was just...
I think he was supposed to be, like, funny, but he wasn't.
Right. And it wasn't particularly... There was no real point to that struggle.
Yeah.
They came and they struggled with this crab and they got the fish hook.
Yeah.
But what was, like, there was no...
It doesn't contribute to the story at large.
Yeah. There was no development
nobody
that happened
learns
there.
anything from that. I mean, it's straight up, that's why I keep comparing it to the Odyssey. It's because it's very much like Odysseus overcoming X battle. Like, him and the Sirens, or him and the Cyclops, it's, or him and Calypso. It's something you have to get past. It doesn't improve him or make him a better person or teach him anything. It's literally just...
It's something for him to survive.
Jump this hurdle. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it felt very like, that kind of the hero's journey.
Yeah, you're right. And
quest.
That was also doubled as the journey to the underworld.
Oh yeah. They had a journey to the underworld too. So many. The one thing I really loved about this is if you're a big fan of mythology or oral tradition or anything like that, then you really see how much love they used to craft this film using like oral traditions. Like, it's just really steeped in it.
I mean, how much love they used to craft this film was clear within the first 2 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Just the way they told the story, there's so much, not just love, but also that you can see their effort for authenticity and to really sort of tell the story.
Yeah, and I feel like Maui and Moana have a pretty good connection. I feel like they could have made their darkest moment a little darker, or like they could have strengthened the bond or whatever. But at the same time, him flying off into the sunset it's fine. It's like, it's good. It's emotionally satisfying, which is what you want. You want to be emotionally satisfied, and it is. But yeah, she goes back to her people, and everything's like kind of okay, and he just kind of goes and does his thing as a demigod.
Right.
So it's like, you don't feel like they're like bound together like super best friends or anything. But at the same time, emotionally satisfying.
I feel like the mythology stories are a bit like that, though. You have the hero who has this encounter with a god or a demigod. And then they go their separate ways.
Yes, they go back.
The demigod is a god, and the person is a person, and they have a home and a life, and she sort of successfully brings her people out into their like true way of life. And it seems she has interactions with him later. They kind of have him fly through in that sort of final scene, but they're not tied to each other.
I thought, but alright, so things I didn't like, but they do DreamWorks style humor in this, which is like a lot of modern day reference jokes. What do you use a bird to, when you write something with a bird, it's called a tweet. Yuck, 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 yuck. Oh God, so bad.
I laughed, but it was
I did not. I went, oh. I was like, oh, why are you hurting me like this? Like a couple of his jokes were just, like some of the things he said to like the tattoos were just stupid. Like, okay, thanks, that was pointless. Yuck, yuck, you're hilarious. What was I talking about? Things I didn't like.
Yes.
The humor. Yeah, some of the humor. Right. Some of it's on, some of it's just the modern day reference jokes. I'm not a fan of.
Feels out of place.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the kiddies, I guess. Bring your children.
Yeah.
Kids will laugh. But usually Disney's better than that. It sounds kind of snobby, but usually they've got like more like
layered jokes.
Everybody can like.
Right. Yeah. Things that sound one way to a kid and sound a different way to an adult.
Yeah. Okay, I did think the warmer water joke where she's like, oh, that's great. I laughed. I was like, that's funny. Sometimes I have the humor of a 12-year-old.
Right. It's
Potty
very
jokes get me.
Exactly. It's a very children's humor kind of a thing, but that's also that doesn't need any other layers. That's just silly. Right?
This grown demigod pissed on her hand.
Yeah, basically. Doesn't matter if you're 500 years old, whatever.
Whatever. I thought it was funny. Some of the crab was stupid. The giant sparkly crab.
Just in general.
Yeah, I mean, he was sort of menacing, but
I expected something more menacing.
Silly. Yeah, mostly silly. They had some good menacing things. I thought, like the creature that like it does like the ring style or the neck twitch and the arms come out, and it chases her into the crab, and I was like, ooh, that would have been cool.
They had all these monsters that were actually scary and actually like monsters, and then the big boss monster wasn't so actually
cartoony.
Scary.
And the way he was drawn was very cartoony too.
Right.
Oh, pick an eye to look at. Okay. He was like, he has the two eyes and they move around. And he's like, pick an eye to look at, it's distracting me. And I was like, this is supposed to be funny.
Doing this
but
number.
It's not funny. It was just kind of like, yeah, we get it. He has two eyes that move independently. I have eyes, I see it. Yeah. Again, and it undercuts his menace.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, was he supposed to be super terrifying and scary, or not?
I was more afraid of the coconuts. Yeah. the coconut
that was
pirates.
Adorable, and that was done really well.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, that's a good first level villain too, because they're like, she's like, oh, they're cute, and they draw the war paint on, and she's like, ah,
and they have all these spikes, and then they actually come after you, and they almost actually kill you.
Yeah. It's like, ooh. Yeah, so the coconuts I thought actually had a little bit of menace to them.
Coconut pirates.
Yeah, so that was like a good first level because you're like, oh, are these going to be dangerous? And they're like, oh, actually they are dangerous.
Right, and they're very well organized and a horde mentality kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I feel like to escalate the threat, it would have been good to like go to a giant monster, but he didn't seem very menacing.
Right, there's like the pirates, and then should have been some middle level big boss, and then Tafiti. Or volcanic Tafiti.
What was that? She had an actual volcanic name, like Haruna, or I don't know.
I don't recall,
probably way
actually.
off. Yeah. Yeah, so
it was like Khan something.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty good. Were there things you didn't like?
Not that I can sort of name off the top of my head, but I think there could have been so I liked her father.
Yeah.
But I think they could have
done
more with him because I feel like there was no conclusion to that, right? So there was this opening of he has this previous conflict, and that's why he doesn't allow her to go off of the island and all these things.
Yeah.
And then she goes off, and then we never see anything about like the family's reaction or like she comes back and they're just only happy to see her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure it would have been amazingly happy to see you. Where in the world have you been? Why don't you listen?
Yeah.
Like, but oh my god, I'm so happy to see you.
Like the parents from Inside Out when the daughter runs away and she
comes
back and they're like, oh, you're here. We're so angry and confused.
And you're so grounded.
Yeah,
right?
We're so happy you're here. Yeah. I thought, some of the songs were pretty good. From the opening Villager song was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I really liked
the
that.
I Want song was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I had some good reprisals from that. And
the music just in general.
Yeah.
I really liked.
I mean,
a lot
in
of
every film you're gonna have good songs, you're gonna have bad songs.
But the overall soundtrack, I think, is including especially the like native language music.
Yeah,
is really good.
Do you even have a guess of what they were singing in for that song?
Nope.
I don't know either. I don't think it was based on just one culture. I think they based it in general in the Pacific Island area.
Right.
But obviously they picked a language to sing that song in.
And they might have had a couple of different languages. So it might have been like one song had one language, another song had another.
We wouldn't even know,
We'd have to look that up.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's notes somewhere about it.
Right. But I liked the little part where her grandmother says to go in and bang on the drum.
Yeah.
And she finds this sort of oblong sort of like parallel structure.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't have thought was a drum.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a drum, but
and she knows immediately
that
it's a drum.
Yeah.
To see sort of the traditional sort of real things that they know and have and use.
Yeah. Very clearly based like off of somebody's culture, you know.
Right, exactly.
And the canoe or the catamaran with the side structure coming out. And,
right, the balance thing on the side.
Yeah.
And to really see them use a lot of even their clothing, right?
Yeah.
Was very rooted in what those people in those cultures in those areas actually use. The way they wove their
really
baskets was different. All that.
Yeah, it was all good.
Right.
And they did a great job of animating her as a little baby. I thought she was super cute.
Oh, she's so
cute.
I like how they didn't shy away from like showing a little girl wearing only bottoms.
Oh yeah,
that was big. In the beginning, I was like, whoa, they actually did it. You know?
Yeah.
People are so, you shouldn't show a little girl naked, and I'm like,
Yeah.
On the islands, all little kids are naked.
Yeah.
They're like, they're going around in little loincloths, and like, all of the little kids are just going around in little loincloths.
Yeah, can we calm down? It's not like she doesn't have any freaking sexual features developed yet. Yeah,
right.
She's like a freaking 2-year-old.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So.
I'm like really happy that nobody freaked out about that, or not many people freaked out about
or not that I've heard about it.
Right.
Yeah. So, everything I thought was pretty good. I thought the voice acting was good. I thought most of the performances were good. I didn't like the crab, but I don't think it's the voice actor's fault. music was good except for a few songs.
Yeah.
The only thing I had a problem was some of the jokes were just really modern day humor, where it's just kind of like kitschy and you wind up groaning instead of really laughing.
Yeah.
And you could have, like, I guess there were places you could have improved the story to make it more like an emotional impact.
Right.
But nothing that greatly detracted from it, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this story really showed a good, healthy development of a female character.
Yes. Kind of got what Bray wanted to do.
I think, something like that. And also gave a really nice emotional development to a male character, which I think you don't see often.
Yeah.
It kind of got at the heart. He didn't want to talk about his sort of abandonment and things like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and she eventually gets him to open up about that, and we see him heal.
Yeah.
And we see him overcome that by being more sure of himself.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They're motivating factors. Her motivating factor is this desire for adventure, and his motivating factor is this desire for love.
Which is usually the opposite.
Yeah, usually they switch those two around, huh? So yeah, it was good to see it done like that.
Yeah, I mean, and she's this girl chieftain who's going out to protect her people and save her people.
See, that kind of reminds me a lot of like this is the good version of Pocahontas, because that was very much what Pocahontas is like kind of about. Except she does have a romance, but at the same time she's very much like, I need to take care of my people and do the right thing by them, and you know, she even stays with them at the end when he goes back to England. So yeah, if Pocahontas was a good film, this is pretty much probably what it would be.
Right.
I don't say that just because they're like two native tribes in both stories, but like they actually have thematically similar things.
Yeah.
Of I'm being groomed to take over, and I need to start thinking about the future, but I also want adventure.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be completely bound to my position. And
right.
Locked in. I want to do things different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with our character, in the end, she got both.
Yes. Yay!
Because she brought her people out with her.
Yeah, she brings them around to her point of view, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, let's go out and explore.
This is who you really are.
Yay! Yeah, this is who you really are. I think that's the real big theme.
Yeah, finding who you really are and owning it.
Yeah, you get that with the goddess, you get that with Maui, you get that with Moana. Yeah, and the tribe at large, I guess, too.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really an important message for girls.
Yeah, for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
And it's important that girls have a role model that they can look to for that, I think.
Yeah, Disney's gotten really good about giving us some really strong female role models. You know, even before Elsa and Anna.
Right.
I think that's the one that people really sticks out in their mind because it's such a massive hit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What did you think about the little opener?
Oh, the little, like, it felt very Inside Out.
Film. Yeah. So they do a little short at the beginning. Oh, I love those shorts. I love them so much. They're so cute. They're like,
yes.
I just want, like, I think Netflix actually at the moment or recently had like a compilation of a bunch of Disney shorts, and I love them. They're usually so good. This one, I was a little like at the end, I felt like it kind of dropped the ball, but for most of it was really good.
Yeah. It was the guy with, and you see his inside his brain and his internal organs and his heart,
his stomach, and
his brain and heart are kind of going at it.
Yeah, they're having a fight. Yeah.
And he goes on all these crazy adventures, and his brain immediately is like, oh, nope, this will lead to death, you will not do this.
Yeah, we have to go to work.
But the heart is like, oh, but I want to try all these things.
Go adventure.
Right?
And then the brain's like, no, we have to go to work, and so he goes to work, and he's like, oh, work is hell, and I'm gonna die, like, without ever doing anything, which is, you know, good message if you want to talk about, like, following your heart or whatever. And then he goes out, and he comes back to the office, and then they have a dance party. And I was like, you were with me. I was with you. I was with you until the dance party. And then I was like, okay. What? Yeah. Dance party? All right.
I mean, I guess you could argue that if you go out and follow your heart and are true to yourself, then that happiness will spread to those around
other people.
You. Something like that.
Yeah, just not their best, but solid. Good.
Not the best
they
conclusion,
usually are good.
But generally
still pretty good. Yeah, their shorts are just great. I love them. They're adorable.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So is there anything else you wanted to talk about in terms of Moana or the previews or the short film?
I don't know why they showed the preview twice for
Sing.
What was it? Sing?
Yeah, that movie looks so bad. It just looks terrible. Yeah, they showed us 2 trailers for Sing because we needed to see it twice. Yeah, and honestly, that movie just looks terrible. Yeah, I can tell they're really pushing the marketing on this, and I don't know, I just get that vibe where I'm like, you're marketing this in such a way that you haven't told me shit about the story.
Right.
And I don't even know who the fucking main character's supposed to be. So,
yeah.
You're really, just playing off of kind of, this cultural affinity for American Idol. And cute animals. And so it makes me very nervous. And I'm like, this looks like it could be very bad.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give that one a miss. Yeah. Unless I have to go see it. Unless I decide, I'm going to review this.
Doubt it.
Yeah, so I'm going to give that a miss.
Yeah. Then there's the gritty remake of Cars.
Oh god! Yeah, what the fuck? It looks like they're doing fucking Batman Begins for Cars. He's driving and all the race cars actually super realistic, and then you see Steve McQueen has gone off the track, you see the car flipping over in the air, and it's
heavy breathing.
Yeah, heavy breathing, and it even looks like it's dirty. There's brown on it and everything. I was like, Cars does not need a gritty reboot, guys. It doesn't. No, does not need a gritty reboot. Does not need anything else. It has not gotten better. The first one was cute. It was what was that film? Doc Hollywood. When he gets banished to the countryside and he has to learn the meaning of being a good person. Anyways.
I was gonna say the meanings of emissions control.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. So the first movie was fine, but oh my gosh, no, we do not need any more Cars films. You stop. What were the other trailers for? It was Cars. It was
Sing twice.
Twice.
Oh. The space between us.
Oh gosh, that looks terrible too. I usually am a sucker for sci-fi. You put sci-fi anything in front of me and I'll usually watch it. But this is some real epic level bullshit sci-fi. Yeah. Boy from Mars, which, okay, even if you terraform Mars, the gravity on Mars is not the same as the gravity on Earth. You would not be able to live on Earth if you were from Mars. You just wouldn't. You would have grown up with a skeletal structure that would not be able to support your body on Earth's gravity. You would crumple like a tin can. You wouldn't be able to hold yourself up. You would have massive bone density problems. So he comes to Earth and he's hanging out with this girl and they're in love. And the reason he comes to Earth is they're in love and the love. Yeah, it looks real bullshitty. Yeah. It's a cross between YA and Nicholas Sparks, and I know people like Nicholas Sparks, but I'm not a fan of that. No. So, if you are a teeny bopper who wants to watch a film about love
in space,
sometimes on Mars and sometimes on Earth, then I guess go see that. Again, I'm not super excited about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it seems kind of what was I gonna say?
You thought it was John Green from the premise.
I thought there was a book by John Green that was called The Space Between Us, but I think I must have just remembered incorrectly.
Okay.
There was something else that I wanted to say about this. But I don't remember anymore. Oh.
Alright, probably wasn't important then. Yeah. So what else is, we did walk past the Assassin's Creed display they had put up.
Oh, yeah.
That is something I want to go see. Fassbender's gonna be the assassin. Yeah.
Is that gonna be good? I don't know.
I hope so. He usually picks some good stuff.
Okay.
I can't think of any films I've seen Michael Fassbender in that I hated. I definitely can't think of one where he gave a bad performance.
Right.
He's usually pretty good. Even his weird indie shit I love. So yeah, that makes me hopeful because I feel maybe he's a picky person. I don't know for sure, but I feel maybe he's a picky person, so he would have gone with something that had a good script. So
hopefully
Assassin's Creed is pretty good.
I mean, Assassin's Creed has gotten a lot of flack otherwise, so.
Yeah, well.
Just like as a game.
Yeah.
I don't know about the movie.
Somewhat recently it did with the Unity. I think was the one I really didn't like. Someone will correct me if that's not true. I only ever played the first game, so I honestly don't know. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, video game movies don't have a good track record.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't. They're generally not good. Like, even if I enjoy them, which I usually do. I usually really love video game movies, even if they're terrible. Like, I know objectively they're terrible, but I still really enjoy them. Yeah, like, oh man, do I love me some video game movies. But yeah, so hopefully this one actually is pretty good.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully. Alright, cool. So, any final thoughts?
I'm glad I went to go see the movie, and I thought it was good overall.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's probably not going to be in theaters for that much longer, so if you want to, if you're like a Disney fan, well, if you're a Disney fan, obviously, you've probably already seen it. But yeah, it's worth watching on, Netflix. I'd say Netflix. I don't know if I'd buy it. Personally, I don't think I will. But if it's on, I'll probably watch it, for sure.
Yeah, and the music by Samuel Lin-Manuel. It was
Lin-Manuel or something?
Yeah, Lin-Manuel or something. The guy who did Hamilton.
Yeah, you said. So, I haven't seen that show, and I haven't heard the soundtrack, but I've heard amazing things.
Yeah, so he did a lot of the music for Moana as well, and explain why a lot of the songs are really good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the lyrics were really strong and everything, I felt.
Definitely. Lots of really good storytelling. And so, even if, I probably will eventually buy the movie so that my daughter will one day watch it, or my son will one day watch it. Because I think, even if it's not the greatest movie of all time, it's still a good lesson to be learned.
Yeah, it's a solid entry into the Disney canon.
Yeah.
It's right in there at the middle of the pack. Again, better than Brave, better than Pocahontas. I put it on the same level as Little Mermaid.
Okay.
In terms of, like, good, but has problems. So.
Yeah.
But it's not Beauty and the Beast, which I consider the pinnacle of animation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You don't get tighter storytelling than Beauty and the Beast, so.
Oh.
That's the benchmark.
I you and I are going to have to watch that again sometime.
And, Frozen, too. Frozen, I would say, is better than this, but.
Okay.
Only a little bit, maybe. Yeah. Alright, that was our review.
Yep.
Pretty much. Cool. Well, I guess we'll be back tomorrow if we're going to do Rogue One.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I like the last one. We'll talk about that tomorrow, though.
Alright.
Alright, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.